Let me just talk you through the cropping options available on the iPad version of Affinity Photo. So let's make sure we're in the photo persona. Then we can select the crop tool from the tools on the left here. Now, we can just drag the handles here to resize the crop window. And we can move the crop window around by tap dragging inside it. Now, we're in unconstrained mode at the moment, which means we can freely resize the X and Y dimensions of the crop window. But we could, of course, change this. So we can change it to original ratio, which means it then matches the aspect ratio of our image. Or we have custom ratio. So we can define our own X and Y dimensions. For example, I can tap into X, type 16, tap into Y, type 9, and I then have myself a 16:9 widescreen aspect ratio. We also have absolute dimensions, for which we have units. So I could change the units to inches, for example. Then in width, I could type 6, and in height, I could type 4. This then gives us a perfectly sized 6" by 4" crop window of the image. But those are not the only options available to us, so let's just have a look in more detail. If we tap this little icon here, we get some more options. Now, by default we start with a rule of thirds grid. We can change this to a golden spiral, or the golden proportion, diagonals, or in fact decide to have no overlay at all. Rotate allows us to flip the orientation of the cropping window from horizontal to portrait and back again. And darken is very, very useful for darkening the areas outside of the cropping window, and it just helps to visualize the final crop of the image. And finally then we have straighten. Now you probably noticed the horizon on this image is not straight. So one easy way to correct this is to tap straighten, and we can then just draw out on the image a ruler or a guide of where we think the horizon should be straight, and release. Then the photo will be automatically rotated and cropped. If it's not quite correct, we can also rotate the crop manually, and we can do this just by tap dragging outside of the crop window. So I'll just rotate this until I feel the horizon is straight, then release. And finally then, let's just resize the crop window like so. And to apply the crop, we can simply tap the check icon here, and there's our final cropped image. But also don't forget that cropping is non-destructive. So for example, if I still don't feel like the horizon is level here, I can just go back in and tap drag on the outside of the cropping window until I feel that the crop is level. Then once again, just tap the check icon to apply the crop.